Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending, and thank you to the organizers for putting together this fabulous panel. I'm just going to go straight into my remarks, and then I look forward to the conversation to follow. So, when you Google the category Muslim women, these are the images that show up first. Along with the subjects, Muslim women without hijab, abuse, the most beautiful Muslim women in the world, and clothing. Our visual culture is obsessed with women's bodies, and even more so with Muslim women's bodies, what they wear, how they look, and our lack of access to them. The Hijabi Monologues is a theatrical production centered on a series of true life experiences delivered on stage through monologues that form an intimate relationship with an audience. As a project, we encourage theater professionals, community organizations, and academic institutions to join together in creating a vehicle for Muslim women to tell their stories. The Hijabi Monologues itself begins with a story which I will not tell, and that story has taken a number of turns since I wrote the original script 10 years ago. The idea behind the Hijabi Monologues, what has become, after almost a decade, an international theater project, is simple. As Arslan said, storytelling is powerful. Stories can be used to idolize, to demonize, to racialize, to define, and to expand our imaginations about any given particular community. It is also through the story that we are given access to the world of a stranger. And if it is a particularly good story, we are able to connect, empathize, and maybe even love that imperfect stranger. More often than not, a visibly Muslim woman's actions or inaction is viewed through the lens of intersectionality, of religion, race, ethnicity, class, and gender. But this project is not interested in what we call the oppression Olympics. Visibly identifiable Muslim women are not the only group that has struggled with outward differences that define how they are treated in society, but we do recognize the ways in which Islamophobia functions in particularly the Americas and in Europe, and that Islamophobic violence is gendered and often racialized and responds most immediately to either racial difference or physically visible markers of difference, such as the hijab or headscarf. So what do? We are committed to staging the Hijabi Monologues in a way that best preserves the authenticity, truth, and power of each story. Our stories challenge, they trouble, and they uplift. The stories allow Muslim women and others to imagine, to write, and to perform differently. We tell stories that allow hijabis to not talk about hijab, or any other hot topic associated with regards to Muslim women, like integration, tradition, progress, religion, secularity, liberation, oppression, honor killings, and so on. We understand that these are very important topics that are fortunately discussed by amazing activists and written about extensively by scholars, but these are not the topics which we address. We're committed to the process of creatively engaging stereotypes. We challenge organizers to come up with their own flyer using our guidelines. We encourage them to work with other organizations as sponsors in order to bring in a large and diverse audience. When we license the script, we deliver workshops in order to empower local production teams with the tools to best stage the show for their communities. We have also held citywide, national, and international story contests to bring in local stories to incorporate into the core script and give shows a more local touch. In 10 years, my team and I have worked with universities and professional theaters to stage the show in over 80 locations across the United States, in 2 provinces of Canada, major cities in Holland, including Rotterdam, Amsterdam, and The Hague, in Belfast, Dublin, and Ballymoon in Ireland, and Banda Aceh, Pontianak, and Jakarta in Indonesia. The feedback we have received over the last 10 years confirms that connecting communities through artistic engagement is vital work, if not life-saving. Contemporary popular narratives regarding Muslim women's victimization and exotification begs for honest storytelling by Muslim women with the breadth of subject and range of emotions that refuses to be limited to reacting and responding to a script of dominant leading questions, postured as a way of giving Muslim women a platform. An honest storytelling of a particular kind can ultimately humanize both the storyteller and her audience in the most profound of ways and lead to deeper, empowering conversations and relationships. Thank you.